Okay, let's move forward. Learn to let go. Sound like a small thing, but actually really important. At times we are too attached with things, with people, with what is happening, and we don't let go of things. Even with the manifestations, we say, oh, I'm trying to manifest, but I'm not getting things. Because we are closely holding something, we are not letting go, trusting the universe sufficiently for something to happen. So letting go is really important. And try to understand this, why you would not let something go. Just dig a little deeper. And I'm not going to spend too much time on that with boring you guys with that. But then if you dig deeper, you will see that somewhere your trust is of not that level where you think that thing will happen for you. Universe will give you something. Your mind stops you by analysis or the information from letting go of things and saying that unless you take action, unless you do this, unless you do that, nothing will happen. So our mind stops us from letting things go because we rely more on the information that we have, the experiences that we have gained so far in this life. But then we always ignore the thing that we have far more greater powers as well in the universe. We are a small portion in the universe. There are other vibrations, there are energies that are at play, and we don't control everything. And we try to control everything that happens to us. Is that a wise thing or not? I will leave it to you guys to decide. But I would say letting go is more important than trying to make things my own way or your own way. Gratitude is one of the things. Being thankful for what you have, and we don't look at what we have. We typically look at what we don't have, we are trying to do. And that is where law of attraction is misunderstood by many people because they think it is just one way of manifesting things. It is, by the way, but that is not the complete picture. Law of attraction basically defines how you're going to get things. You need to understand the energies, vibration, frequencies, paradigm. Only then you'll be able to have better control on your manifestations. But if you're only going to look at what you don't have, no matter what I give you, a magic wand or anything, or even if I make God sit with you, I know it might be controversial, but then hypothetically, right? People who believe in God, if I make God sit with you, I can assure you, after some time, you will not stay happy. You will want something else, because we are driven by that nature of ours, a human nature, which feels bored, loses importance of something after having achieved something. Do you feel as excited when you bought your Ferrari or you bought something that really meant for you, that you really wanted to get from so many years, and after so many years, do you still feel that way? Forget about a thing with people. Do you feel the same love when you see your life partner? You don't. And I don't mean anyone specific, and I don't mean there are no exceptions. Of course, there are exceptions as well. But what I'm trying to say is, if we don't pay attention, our mind keeps us from one place to another. Taking a comment, the 10th apple effect. Okay, so 10th apple effect is the later apples do not taste as much as the first apple, the first one. The other apple, yeah, if you have many apples, you might enjoy eating one apple if you have only one, but if you have 10, you probably would enjoy first one, but not the others as much. Okay, as satisfying. Yes, Barbara, thanks for that. So I guess you guys understand that Apple thing more. If you have something given to you which you did not have, you will enjoy it more. But when you have more of it, you will not have as much appreciation and satisfaction out of it, which is what it means. Thanks, Shana, for the comment of being it organized and good. Thank you for that. So coming back to gratitude, we don't look at what we have, we look at what we don't have. And if we keep looking at what we don't have, either you call it 10th Apple effect or something else, you will not be satisfied. You will not have satisfaction with the same thing that meant so much for you. And that is why gratitude is important. And also, gratitude is also important from one very important aspect, that we take life for granted. We don't appreciate what we have got. I'm not saying just be thankful for the house you have, the health you have, the clothes you have, or the money you have, or the kids you have, relations you have. No. In this universe, we take things for granted unless we pay attention to that. The air we breathe, the oxygen we use every time, non-stop. By the way, we are made up of more than 100 trillion cells. Our body. We are living on rent, like some of the places you can take places on rent. 100 trillion cells. Just imagine that. We have so much that we don't think of. The air, the water, everything that we get. When we go out in nature, we do appreciate that, but at times we are not thankful for that. If we go out, many people do try to align with the nature, they feel good, of course, but we all have to develop this habit of appreciating what we all have. So gratitude is really important. You might feel why or how it is appearing in learn to let go. So yeah, so they're gonna take a comment from Barbara. She said one strand of DNA is around 6 feet long. We really don't understand our body as much. We say, okay, I'm happy for healthy life, but how much of we know of how much of our body we know, whether those cells or the organs, so many things inside us making a body, 5 elements coming together making a body. This is such a brilliant thing. When you look at universe, you will have far more greater appreciation for how this universe was created. And we don't even see 0.0001% of the universe as well. Our earth itself is not even that. There's so much within this universe. Even if you whatever you see, you pay attention to, you will feel everything around you is, because of a reason, is thought after, and is so beautiful for the way it works, helping you have the experience that you are having right now. We think it is our knowledge that has made things better for us. In a way, you can argue people who are scientific, people who uh, are more analytical, they might say that. Okay, I'm going to move forward from gratitude to making amends. Making amends is such a important thing. If you combine this with forgiveness, we have a saying that person who can forgive or make amends is is the most generous person of all. The hardest thing to give is forgiveness, more than money, more than anything else. And by forgiveness, I don't mean just forgiving, saying I forgive, and not deeply forgiving the person in your heart or making amends. We can all make amends, be on the face value with many people, because we don't have to have anonymity with people. We don't have to create a scene or thing like that. We can do that. But why we are doing this thing? Gratitude. Why we are doing this thing? Because God is asking us to do, or Creator is asking us to do? No, these are important for us to raise our vibrations. Same is making amends and forgiving people. How many times we forgive people? And I'm not saying when you forgive people or make amends, you go back to doing the same thing that actually caused trouble for you earlier. But you have to let go of such things. And Barbara did say, just shared in chat, the hardest person to forgive at times is ourselves. And I completely agree. And that is why I mentioned being parent of yourself, acting like a parent. And I think Karen, it was Karen who mentioned it is one of the things we do in Ho'oponopono. Jacob mentioned that. But it is really important. Believe me, making amends and forgiveness are two strings that you want to cut. All your relation to these two, you want to cut, because they will hold you from moving forward, from moving higher, raising your vibrations higher. That is why it is important for you to cut the cord with everyone when it comes to making amends or forgiving people. Don't hold a grudge. Don't hold a feeling in yourself, because that's going to grow over a period of time, and that will hold you. I can tell you from spiritual perspective, the grudges that we hold, the feeling of not getting satisfied with something of some people, or if someone, you paid some money, you lent some money to someone, the person was not able to give, you thinking that, oh, I was not paid, I still owe this, this person owe this money to me. That also, I would say, don't expect anything from anyone, even if it was yours, if you can, that is. And again, like I said, please don't apply every principle to all the aspect of life. You have to see where it relates the most. Again, specific circumstances, extreme circumstances require specific and extreme actions. So just think about that. So making amends and forgiveness is really, really important. Even if you don't think about them as much, or even if you think that they are not as important, I can assure you personally, with all honesty and sincerity, they are even more important than gratitude. I'm not saying gratitude is not important. It is. It's the appreciation. Gratitude, by when we have gratitude, we have appreciation for what we have. But gratitude basically helps us take our focus to positive side of things. We have appreciation. We acknowledge things. Making amends and forgiveness takes us back from negative side to positive side. And unless you make amends and forgive, you may not be able to completely practice gratitude. Would you be able to thank someone who has caused some harm to you or you have not forgiven? Even though that action might have resulted in you getting some experience or something good for you later on. We don't see that connection. That is why I say these two are really important. Next one is it's okay to it's okay not to know. Ignorance is bliss. That is the reason people call ignorance is bliss. You don't have to know about everything, especially the things that don't matter to you. Practicing apathy is important here. Diana mentioned, right? At times, practicing apathy is good to the things that don't add value to you, to the things which you don't want to be part of, or which are not in alignment with yourself or with your purpose of life. Be part of something that adds value, gives you happiness, satisfaction, joy, peace, enlightenment, everything that you read on the vibrational chart. Do that and don't be ignorant towards that. But all other things, you can be ignorant. That will serve you really well. And finally, have faith. Brian did mention saying I don't know is very liberating. Yes, it is one of the practices that you can follow to liberate yourself, or do any practice that works for you. That is why for some people journaling works, for some people scripting works, for some people something else works. So try to find the sweet spot for you. That is more important, because sweet spot is something that will impact you more than someone saying and you not being completely convinced with that. If there's something else that works for you, follow that. But remember, you don't have to know everything in this life. It's okay to ignore certain things. It's okay not to know. Nothing will break if you don't know everything. And no matter what, how much you try to know about everything, it is really, really difficult that you know completely about something. So it is the difference between thinking you know enough versus knowing you don't know enough. So it's okay not to know. Ignore. Someone did comment. Oh, Shana did say she appreciates the comment. Thank you. And having faith. Faith is really important. Faith helps let you go, because when you have stronger faith, trust or to the level of faith, you are able to let go of things, because you know things are gonna turn your way. Barbara says, master what you are good at and find other people who know what you don't. That's nice. Thanks for that, Barbara. So what you know is what you're good at. Master that. And maybe try to find people who can tell you what other things are good in you. To add to that, I would say if you work with yourself, you will know the other things about yourself. So a couple of thanks to Barbara from Jessica and Shwana for that statement. So I would say, yeah, have faith, know yourself. If you have faith, you will get things. Another comment. Yeah, Barbara says, I have had to learn that for myself. Yeah, we all have some learning. And this one is something that gives you peace. And that is why it is so important. Okay, thanks, Jessica. She says she appreciates how beautifully everyone is able to translate and present these ideas and concept. Thanks for that.